Hello everybody, Nine and Does. How's everybody doing today? Are you all doing all right? I am tickety-boo. I'm out here. I look like shit because I'm working in the yard. But I got my red lips on. Just saying, Vivi's out there for a good sniff. She hasn't been out here for 5 minutes, so you never know what's changed, right? Okay, Viv. Later, Gator. This way. I'm such a professional, aren't I? I'm such a professional. Well, all I can say today is, hey, Donny, we all seen your doodle. We did. You're pretty good at it. This all came out. We never would have known what your doodles look like if they hadn't all came up on the TV screen. Just saying. So, all this stuff is coming out about you and the Jeff boy. You and Jeff. Good buddies. 15 years worth of buddies. And you say you're trying to deflect, and look over there, look over there, look over there. It's not working. It's not, because we're hot on the trail. We're hot on the trail, Donny. I gotta tell you. You keep doing stuff like everything's coming out Epstein, and Trump, and you don't like it. Well, that's too bad. Just is. Because you know what, Donny? It's a funny thing. You got nothing left. You got nothing left. You really don't. People are all starting to stand up to your bullshit. We got a big conference going on with all the premiers all across Canada. We're getting our own interprovincial free trade going on. In case you didn't know, there was tariffs across Canada in our own country. Yeah, they're all getting tidied up there. Ontario, Saskatchewan, and Alberta are all nice and clean. They're all done up. And every time, another picture, real sleazy stuff too, man. You with little girls fawning all over you, you like that. And you know why they didn't know why they're fawning on you, Donny? Know why? They were told to. They were told. It wasn't because they thought you were hot. You know, hot like your country. America's so hot. America's hot. But you know what you've turned America into? Hell. Guess what, Donny? Hell's hot too. Yeah, hell's hot. Because that's what you've turned the country in and everybody's lives. Yeah. Imagine. So you've done all that. Because you're trying to deflect. So the first thing, when the first Jeffrey stuff started coming out again, your big thing was to deflect. And it was like, I know what I'll do. I'm going to take Rosie O'Donnell's citizen away. Good. I think I might take her citizenship away. That didn't do it because when she came back and she said, well, I am Irish, had an Irish name, and I'm living in an Irish town because you're not too kind to kids with disabilities and you're not too kind to the LGBT community. So, yeah, as soon as you were about to sign that, well, did you really take the oath if you didn't put your hand on the Bible? My maggoty trader there said if you don't put your hand on the Bible, then you can't swear in as a president. You have to put your hand on it. You had 2 Bibles there that Mel was holding there for you, and you didn't put your hand on either one of them. She stood there looking like an arsehole. Pretty arsehole, but she's just as lame as you are, though, you know? Just as greedy. Just saying. So then another thing comes out about Epstein. His brother. And his brother said, those should be my files. I'm his brother. I want those files released. I'm his brother. I'm his family. Then it was, we're we're going to sue James Comey. And everybody's going, no, no, that's already been tried. It's been through the courts. Then more Epstein comes out. Like your little doodle. Just popped right out there. It did. Your little doodle. But you don't write drawings. Guess what, Donny? You're in good company because nobody else writes drawings either. Nobody writes drawings. Just saying. So we have all this stuff going on. And then you had all those leaders from all those African countries and going on and say, you brought peace to Rwanda and the Republican Democratic Congo. No, you didn't. Joe Biden been working on that for years. Bits here, bits there. You did F all because, face it, Donny, you called Africa a shithole country and you weren't going to have anything to do with it. Joe Biden actually went to Angola, and Joe Biden actually got them a railway that's going to go across the country and connect everything else so they don't have to take 45 days to get their shyte to the shipping. It's going to take 45 hours to get across the country and on those ships and over to America. You're so hyped on all that stuff. The only reason why you have deficits with these countries is because you don't buy enough from them. How about that? How about that? But shithole countries, you don't want anything to do with a shithole country, right? So apparently that's what Canada is to you, because you don't want anything we got either. So Epstein comes up again. Hillary's emails. Yep, got to go back to that because that's 2016. Almost 10 friggin' years ago. But I remember something that came out of your big gob, and it was something to the effect of, Russia, if you're listening, find out what happened to them 30,000 emails. Russia, if you're listening, you know they were listening, and you know that 2 days later, Hillary's campaign headquarters got hacked. You know that. You sent out the message because that's what Putin wanted. So you did it. You little puppet. You little puppet. Pull your little strings. More Epstein stuff comes out. You're putting memes up about President Obama being handcuffed and made to go on his knees in the Oval Office. You are a disgusting piece of shit. But then again, he can go down on his knees. You can't. You even see them? Just wondering. So anyway, there's all that. So every time Epstein comes up, you keep falling back to the old classics there. But you know what, Donny? I've had 2 family members that had Alzheimer's. And you're sundowning like they did. See, they can't remember the here and now and what's going on. They just kind of fade when people are talking about now because they don't understand it, so their brain kind of clicks off and they almost falling asleep. Yeah, but man, can you remember the things that happened years ago? That's what's going on with you, in my humble opinion. I'm no doctor by any stretch, but I watched an aunt and an uncle go through all that. That's exactly what they did. They couldn't remember what they did in the morning or whatever time of day it was. Got worse at night, and that's you, because at night your brain goes haywire and it starts clicking up all this stuff and you start texting it out. It really makes you sound crazy, Donny. Makes you sound, come here, Donny. You feckin' idiot. You need to be in a home. And there's medication for you, and you can live out, because pretty soon golfing is going to be dangerous because people with Alzheimer's have known to be a little violent. They have. And that's you losing your stuff at the airport. Nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, they start cursing like that and they fly off the handle. My aunt never swore. She was just the sweetest lady. But man, oh man, that light's going off. I don't know. I don't know. My Uncle D, he got a little wild too. That's why he ended up in long-term care. So, yeah, Donny, what's next? You gonna punch out Marco Rubio? Oh, Jesus. That'd be a sight to see, wouldn't it? So I've already been pushing and shoving matches because you don't know what you're talking about, and these other guys are trying to decipher it. But they're too stupid to figure it out either, so they start fighting each other. So, there you go, Donny. All this stuff is because you can't remember from minute to minute what's going on around the world. But you made those 5 leaders sit in front of you and say, oh yes, Mr. President, if they want to give you the Peace Prize, I have no problem with that. None of them said they'd help you get it or write a letter. Nobody. Nobody said they'd help you out. But yeah, it wasn't just you getting that peace agreement, because Joe Biden, December 1st, and his team, his chief of staff and everything, and his Secretary of State, they were already over there with the papers, meeting with both leaders on both sides, telling them they had to put their arms down on the Rwanda side, and the Angolese had to stop their drone programs and stuff, stop blowing the shit out of people. That was Joe Biden that did that. And then when they finally got word that you had whoever you had in there, they invited you to join the conversation. But Joe Biden had been working on this for the whole time he was in, and while he was vice president. So, sundowner Donny. Sundowner Donny. See, you're only 79. You're young compared to what my aunt and uncle went through. But your dad was 80, wasn't he, when he went off his rocker? Started losing his marbles. He was 80, so you're in your 80th year. So yeah, it stands to reason it's hereditary. And you're the next inheritant. I think Don Jr.'s getting a head start, if you ask me. But anyway, yeah. So Donny, we all seen your Doodle. We did. It was okay. No, it wasn't even impressive. I'm going to go on somebody's word that actually seen it. That would be Katie Johnson, Giuffre, Virginia Giuffre. Yeah, and oh, okay, how can we forget Stormy Daniels. So yeah, you have no idea what's going on, and that's why you keep reverting back to the old hits 10 years ago, because that's all that stayed in your mind. Anyway, 99 loves you all. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. I love you so much. I really do. Now, I've got to go get the weed whacker and get rid of some stuff, because my little path, if you hadn't noticed, I have to push the trees out of the way. So there's that. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. I love you so much. Newcomers, welcome. And like me, love me, share me. And I'll talk to you in a little bit. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. I truly love you all. I truly do.